The RID01 Predacons. These guys are a group of really weird stooges, and I don't really know how to describe them. If you haven't seen car robots, these are some of the main bad guys, and they are the goofiest bad guys I can think of. And there's 3 of them, and we're going to talk about all 3 in this one video, because they all look great. Gas Skunk is the first one that's up, and he turns into this transmetal skunk and has a fantastically sculpted beast mode. Now, I really like the colors here. The black and yellow really pop off each other, and the nice hits of chrome really do a lot for this guy. He does have articulation because it was a Beast Wars mold at one point, and that means you can pose around his beast mode. Kind of redundant to say that, but there it is. And it's nicely posable. All in all, Gas Skunk is one of the better ones out of the 3-pack. I really like him. Darkscream is a flying squirrel, and if you're going to pick Darkscream or Night Glider, Darkscream is definitely the superior color version. I love all the molding on him, the big hits of chrome on the wings and the tail, the VTOL engines, the jet, the holes in the wings of the flying squirrel, the sugar glider even maybe. He doesn't have as much posability in beast mode, having really only these little arms, but that's fine. He's a good little flying squirrel figure. Like we needed one. Slapper is a frog, like just a straight up toad boy, and I love the red and gold accents on him, the hit of blue on the back with the shiny chrome, and the silver accents. He is so nice. Like, this is the nicest one. I thought he was going to be my least favorite, but he's probably my favorite out of the set. And because he's a frog, he has lots of posability. They put a lot of care into making sure Slapper can articulate, including an opening mouth, which is just fantastic. He does have this deployable claw weapon thing that I still don't know what the point is. Overall, the 3 of them make a great set. If you can find them for cheap, I definitely recommend picking up all 3 in one go. I know for a fact on at least 2 of these, specifically these 2, they have had tightened joints, and that's okay, that's fine. It's just some of his are really tight, and his I am currently trying to loosen up. So forgive me if during transformation it's not, some of it may not be on camera. But they are Beast Wars molds, so they are highly articulated, and they are almost all ball joints. And we're going to start with Darkscream to get him into robot mode. He's a very simple transformation. So it all essentially like centers around just popping this joint down, which at first was a very scary joint to do. And then just bringing down his legs, folding out the feet, rotating this up, and then bring it down. Oh, hang on, I forgot to flip up the head. So flip up the head, then bring it over, and then move these out of the way. And then this chunks down right there. Bring these down, spin the head around, and that is Darkscream. You can adjust the tail a little bit. I'm gonna leave it like that, which I know sucks because it's gonna scratch the chrome or whatever, but it's what lets him stand up. So kind of gotta do it. There we go. Can we adjust that just a little bit better? Yeah, just a little bit. Okay, there we go. And there is Darkscream in his robot mode, and he's a very handsome bot. Very nice little robot mode. Sorry, I had a hair in my mouth. Ew. Nasty. Let's do Slapper next. Slapper actually has kind of an intriguing transformation here. He's very different. You want to essentially just skin the frog by taking the back half of it and wiggling it up on like this double hinge that it has. There it goes. So now it's up on its double hinge. Lift up the frog mouth and fold down the lower half of the frog until it pops out at a 90 degree. Then bring this over, bring this up, rotate this all the way over, and then until the head section pops into that little section right there. Fold that down, bring out the arms, rotate them there, and then this is the part where fold up the frog mouth, and then this is the part where it gets like scary because these ball joints are really tight. This one's not so bad anymore. The other one, however, oh my gosh. Okay, if I go this way, it's not so bad. Okay, there we go. We have Slapper in his robot mode. His hips are still a little loose, so he does have a little trouble standing, but for the most part, Slapper Stands pretty well. There he is. And Gas Skunk is I want to say the most involved. Much like Slapper, you just want to flip this down and skin the whole animal. And then flip this part up, tuck the head in, tuck it in right there, and pop the head back down and in. Let's see, there we go. Rotate the head 180, lift this piece up, come down here and spin the waist around, spin the legs around on the ball joint, bring the arms in and fold up the animal feet, bring the arms down, fold up the animal feet, and you can come to these chrome parts and spin them up if you really want, like it's a thing, but I like, I don't think he really does that in the show. I think they stay at his sides, so I'm gonna leave them there. And then come to the back of the animal legs and flip down the robot mode arms. So and then bring out the robot mode arms, and there we go. There is, and you'd think because of his goofy ponytail he'd be a little more difficult to like get balanced, but he's actually really easy to like stand up and balance. Because he has these nice big heel spurs, so he's actually like really easy to stand. And there we go. There are the RID Predacons in their robot mode. Robot mode on these guys is spectacular. I really like the way these look as a group. Also, if you're not subscribed, you should totally hit that subscribe and check out the links in the description, including my Patreon and Discord. But that said, these guys look amazing, and we're going to talk about them one by one, once again in the same order as we did for their beast modes. They can do the right, center, and left laser, which is really cool. They do that a lot in the show, and I really appreciate they're able to do that here. So starting us off, we're going to talk about Gas Skunk. Gas Skunk's robot mode doesn't reveal any new detailing really aside from his head and chest, and that is one handsome head sculpt, I will say. It looks mean, it's toothed, and he does have his big ponytail weapon that he can hold up and support fairly well. I really like it. Darkscream, on the other hand, reveals a whole lot of new detail from his beast mode, as most of this was covered up by his beast mode wings, and he looks absolutely spectacular. Really love the colors on this guy. Last up is Slapper, who again steals the show for me. He looks like he jumped right off the screen, and I absolutely adore his colors. His claw weapon is still deployable here, which is really nice. Even though he has weird hands, he does like still work a lot for being a figure. The three of them do make a nice set, and once again, I can't recommend these guys enough. These molds are awesome. Articulation on these three is shockingly uniform across the board, which blows my mind considering how old the figures' molds are, and just like how different they all are. Starting us off with Darkscream, because he's the one with the least amount of like over tight joints. Darkscream has a ball joint at the neck, granted it's very limited, but he can look up and it can swivel. He has ball jointed shoulders, so you know, in and out, up and down, and then he does have an extra joint that lets him get his arm extra up. He has ball joints at the elbow, so swivels there. He does have a swivel at the waist, which is really nice to see. Ball jointed hips, ball jointed knees, and ball jointed ankles, so it gives him a little bit of tilt and some rock, which is very nice. It's insane to see how much articulation is on this guy, and then the fact that Gas Skunk has the exact same articulation, except he also has a hinge at his elbow, so it can go a little deeper or a little further back, but he does just have ball jointed elbows, swivel at the waist, ball jointed neck that's slightly more emotive, ball jointed knees, ball jointed hips, and a waist swivel. So yeah, just overall the same posability, just locked away a little bit differently. Oh, and then he also has the ball joint and hinge at his swivel tail here, his skunk tail. Putting him back over there and going into this guy, Slapper, who is different. So Slapper has a ball jointed neck, but he can really only look, he can't look side to side. He has to like crane his neck the entire way. So, and then he has ball joint shoulders, ball jointed elbows, and then he has hinge wrists because of his frog mode. He does have a waist swivel, which surprised me the most. I didn't think Slapper was going to have a waist swivel, but he does. And then he has ball joints at the hips, ball joints at the knees, and ball joints at his ankles. So really, really good articulation across the board on these guys. Like, they have very solid articulation, and that lets them do almost everything you'd want them to do, which is basically just be goobers and stand next to Megatron and Skybite and Scourge, you know, just look like goofy idiots, because that's what they are. As someone who doesn't really like Beast Wars figures, these guys have really made me change my mind about taking a look at Beast Wars toys in general. I think that they're absolutely amazing. Like, these are so much fun for being as old as they are. They have amazing robot modes, really simple transformation, tons of posability, and it really makes them a blast to handle and play with. The only problem is that, like I mentioned earlier, the joints on mine had been tightened, which is really, really upsetting, because it means that I can't really enjoy them as much as I would like to, or at least pose them as much as I would like to. They are ball jointed, so if you do pick these guys up, do make sure to like double check those and make sure that they're not super loose. But if you are someone who isn't really a big fan of Beast Wars, you want something that can kind of fit in elsewhere, these Predacons and Megatron really fit in, especially if you like to see Scourge. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. This has been Bots Obsession.